will make America great again. Thank you, Arizona. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
In the far distant land of common sense, a place where we all once lived, you'll find the Conservative College with Professor Toto. It is here where the foundational principles of our great republic are still taught and true patriots are still educated in the hallowed halls of this school of hope. Just like the iconic puppy from The Wizard of Oz, who found great joy in pulling back the curtain on the lies of the wizard, so does Professor Toto. Grab your seats and welcome to the Conservative College. Class begins now.
Howdy, howdy, hello everybody. Hello everybody, wake up wherever you are. Wow, the bell is rung, can you tell? Yeah, I know. It's 8 o'clock Central. Yes, it is, on the beautiful Gulf Coast of Mississippi, just outside of New Orleans, Louisiana. And I am your late night host. I am your humble neighborhood fluffy, a little less fluffy, Professor Toto. They call me Toto because just like that little dog Toto on The Wizard of Oz, I love pulling back the curtain and showing the man behind the curtain. And we're going to be pulling back some curtains tonight. A lot of explaining I'm going to do. You're going to get a lot of good education this evening. As a matter of fact, let's run over to the other side of the classroom. Let's get on the chalkboard and find out what we're going to pull back tonight. Wow, we're going to talk about the border invasion. It will lead to Roar 24. If you have not been watching the border, it is in an absolute mess. Number 2, Maine is a pain. Number 3, victory in Michigan. Number 4, victory in Colorado. Donald Trump will remain on the ballot. It has been officially announced by the Secretary of State. And I got a big I told you so coming up on that one. Number 5, Jack Smith has a new request from the court, and it is scary, my friend. Number 6, Jack Smith is illegally appointed. I've been holding off on that story. I'm a little late to the ball game on that one, but I've deliberately not reported on that story yet because I just had a few things that didn't sit right with me I wanted to confirm. And I have done my homework, so I'm ready to report on it now. Number 7, America's big clown show is tonight of 2023. You are going to see the great lowlights, not the highlights, but the lowlights of 2023. Tonight, we are reporting to you that Donald Trump has triumphed in the state of Colorado. And the Colorado court scam has been exposed. We'll be talking about that a good bit tonight. And we're going to be talking about the 14th Amendment because it's very important tonight, especially what's happened in Maine mere moments ago. And I'll be reporting on all of that tonight. Before I go any further, I want to thank all of my Rumble viewers, those that watch us on Rumble. Last week, we were honored to be the number 10 live show on Rumble. Well, Tuesday night, 2 nights ago, we were number 5 on all of Rumble. You know, that's something for us all to be proud of because, we don't come with secret intel on this show. We come with knowledge and understanding. And for us to be number 5, as a matter of fact, let me pull that up for you. I want to thank my Rumble viewers for making us number 5. I truly am. As a matter of fact, there we are there on the left with the circle. We came in just behind Newsmax and InfoWars, and we came ahead of President Trump at his rally in Durham, North Carolina. So we're quite proud of that and thankful for that. So very thankful. I want to thank you, Rumble viewers, because the reason that happened is you all pushed the like button and the share button. And that makes it go up in the algorithm and in viewership. So one more time, Toto Town, MAGA World, Toto's Army, especially our Rumble viewers, thank you from the bottom of my heart for putting us at number 5. So with that said, would everybody watching right now hit the like button, the love button, and the share button? Why? Just do it. Thank you. Because we're all givers around here. So everybody go. So Rumble, I'm high-fiving you. Thank you, Iberian Knitter. Thank you, Bandit Bunner. And Susan, 65123. Hello, Tad. Thank you, Noel Hartzog. Melissa the Mitten. She said, we've already shared it. Thank you. She said, a lot of people reshared your Colorado ruling video. Well, thank you, Iberian, and all of you on Rumble. I love you. You're faithful, loyal viewers. My Rumble viewers are among my most faithful and loyal ones. Speaking of faithful and loyal, if you live in California, yours truly will be there in March. I believe I can hardly read that flyer. I believe it is March the 16th. I'm going to be at the God and Country Music Fest. It's an all-day concert, and I will be the keynote speaker at 1 o'clock that afternoon. So you don't want to miss it. If you live, let's see, what is that in? What's the name of that town? Tulare, Tulare, California. It's going to be at the Big Ag Contra Center there. So if you want to get tickets, that's where you get your tickets. Go right now. And I want to thank those in California that have put this together. It's going to be a wonderful day for Patriots to get together. So very excited. So California, there's your information. I look forward to seeing all of you in California on March the 16th. And I want to thank the event sponsors there for inviting me to be their keynote speaker that day. I look forward to it. All right, without further ado, let's go down to the border.
Border situation. This economy is killing people. It's breaking the backs of the American people. And then you throw the border situation on top, which isn't getting better. They know about it. We're complaining about it. The media is talking about it. And yet this government does not do anything about it. This is exactly part of their plan. They want to reinvent America, or like Obama said, fundamentally transform America. This is part of a plan. And unfortunately, the American people are the victims of the plan of this administration.
Our city here in Eagle Pass, we've been getting slammed with 2,000 to 3,000 people a day, and it's just an unfair, unethical situation. What's going on here in Eagle Pass, we feel ignored by the federal government.
You know, what Governor Abbott is doing is, quite frankly, it's reckless. You know, I had a delegation to actually go to the border and see firsthand the challenges that our bordering states and our bordering cities are experiencing right now.
Yeah, I think that Denver is now ground zero for America's migrant crisis. We are at this moment now the single largest recipient city of any city in America per capita. We actually have more than 2 times as many migrants as the next city behind us based on our population. We received more than 100 buses in the last month alone. As you mentioned, more than 35,000 over the last year. And so we are working hard to try to help those folks integrate successfully, but we are hitting real challenges.
Okay, I want to talk about work authorization in just a minute, but first, I'm listening to you describe this. Why Denver? Why are you absorbing the most migrants right now?
Yeah, it's actually simple geography, which is we are the first big city north of El Paso. So you go straight up I-25 from El Paso, and Denver is the shortest route. It's the cheapest bus ticket for Governor Abbott or other folks from Texas to send people. And so because we're the closest major city, that's where they send folks, even though many of them aren't desiring to come to Denver in the first place or have no family or networks here.
As buses continue to arrive in the city of Chicago and all over the country, the type of chaos that has been administered has left many of our local economies under a tremendous amount of duress. We cannot do this alone. We need more support from the federal government.
So there you go. They all feel like it's unfair now because the border is coming home to bite. I want to tell you what I've always told you. It will be the border crisis that will cause the roar in 24. Donald Trump pegged this issue before it became an issue. Back in 2016, Donald Trump was sounding the alarm on what we see at the border today. That's why Americans love him. That's why Americans voted for him. That's why, because he has a pulse. His hand is on the pulse of this nation. He speaks to that pulse, and the border is going to be the Achilles heel. The border is going to be the elephant in the room. It is going to be what makes the roar in 24, because good Democrats, people that are Democrat all the way, they see the problem. And now it's infecting our nation. All around this nation, it is being infected. Well, there's another infection. I don't know if you know this lady or not. Nobody does. She's a nobody really in the grand scheme of things. But I'm going to show you her picture. Nobody knows her at all. She's a nobody when it comes to politics. Her name is Shenna Bellows. And the reason I'm showing her picture tonight is because I really want her to get her 15 minutes of fame. I do. Because she's so desperate for it. This is the great Secretary of State from the state of Maine. It's this little girl with the twirl that just tried to change the world. That's right. Single-handedly, with no court ruling, with no outside power or authority. This little girl right there, let me show her again, because she knows it's not going anywhere, but she desperately wanted to be on the Toto show so bad that she went and took Donald John Trump off the ballot in Maine. That happened moments ago. Okay, that's her. I'm putting her up because she deserves it. She literally just handed Donald Trump more voters, and we owe her a debt of our gratitude tonight. So, Shenna, what a shame. But because of stupid things like that, you continue to prove to the world what Donald Trump says about the swamp. All right? As a matter of fact, this is the face of the swamp. Let me introduce you to her. She is a former ACLU attorney. If I could stop right there, couldn't I? She is a virulent leftist, a hyper-partisan, Biden-supporting Democrat who has decided to interfere in the presidential election on behalf of Joe Biden. What we are witnessing is real-time attempted theft of an election and the disenfranchisement of the American voter. They are unconstitutionally suspending the civil rights of every Republican in the state of Maine. So there you go. I just wanted to give her her fame because what she's done is given, of course, we don't need Maine at all. Maine, we don't need anything. So she's not hurt Trump at all. What they don't understand is they help Trump every time they act stupid. They help Donald Trump. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is the latest coming out of Maine. And, it is all part of this great agenda that I taught you about Tuesday night, an agenda that comes from the left. Folks, we are at a point now where they never dreamed we would come to. Do y'all realize, does everybody understand where we are? Do you not know that in less than 11 months now, you could say in 11 months, do you understand that's how close we are to Donald Trump pardoning himself? Folks, we are knocking on heaven's door. We're knocking. We are literally, the first vote in Iowa is 2 weeks away. We survived. We did it. Remember, go back 3 years ago. We're not going to survive until then. I said, you got to. Why? Because the lion will roar in 24. We told you that. The lion will roar in 24. And by the way, if you have not ordered your merchandise, Roar 24, what are you waiting on? There's the website, theroar24.com. You need to get all of this beautiful merchandise here at theroar24.com. You can go there now and order your cups, your hats, your backpacks. It is time to start packing, folks. Oh, I better not say that. It's time to start packing your Trump 24 gear, right? And by the way, I want to thank over 2,000 of you last night that went or sent the word join and your email address to that number on the screen, over 2,000 of you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Now you can be updated every time we go live. YouTube will be kicking us off. It won't be long. It's that time. And you will not be able to find us if you do not text the word join and your email address all in the same line to that number on your screen. So please do that today. What happened in Maine is part of an overall agenda.
I just have a good sense of what's going to happen here. It takes a dark turn, but I think I just have a good sense of what's going to happen here.
Okay.
They're leading into a trap. They're not going to let Trump get anywhere near the White House. They're not going to let him.
What about?
So the goal is, have him be the nominee, and by hell or high water, one way or another, they're not going to have him. They're not going to let him.
What about the other two, though?
It's not them.
Who is it?
It's within our own party.
Okay. It's within our own party?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Hey, look at the people who voted to keep Trump off the ballot. Who are they putting up? Who are lawsuits to keep him off the ballot? Larry Fink to Reid Hoffman. Who are they propping up? So it's a game. And I'm in this to make sure that doesn't happen. But they want it to be a two-horse race, eliminate him, put up actually the Trojan horse within the Republican Party that keeps the war machine humming and keeps the restrictions on speech and the censorship agenda. Get it done. Who needs Democrats when you can get it done through the Republican Party?
Okay.
So you do the math.
Okay.
You do the math on that. That's what's coming.
You do the math, and I have Vivek. I want to know why Vivek has suspended all of his advertising in Iowa, South Carolina. Today, all TV ads have stopped. Interesting question, is it not? Ladies and gentlemen, I am so excited tonight to announce that Michigan, we have had a victory in Michigan. The High Court, the Supreme Court, has ruled that President Trump cannot be kept off the Republican primary ballot. Great victory in Michigan. Congratulations to all of my Michiganders, all of my precious ones in Michigan that we love so very much. Well, I hope you're ready, everybody, because it is that time to say, I told you so. Oh, I told you so. On December the 21st, I went live and I did a special segment where I called the Colorado Supreme Court ruling a scam. We were the only podcasters that brought you the news that we brought you on December the 21st. If you don't remember that show, let me see if I can pull the thumbnail up here real quick, just maybe jog your memory for memory's sake. See if I can find that thumbnail. There it is. Nope. Yeah. Here's the thumbnail from that show. Breaking, Trump is to remain on the Colorado ballot. That news is 7 days old. However, here at the Conservative College, you get tomorrow's news today. Ladies and gentlemen, I told you in that class Donald Trump would remain on the ballot, and I said why. The reason being because of one little line that I found. It's like when I read the Bible. I have this ability, I don't know where it comes from, to see beyond what is written, if you will. And we did that in the Constitution about January the 6th. Anybody remember? Why was we the only ones that saw that? We predicted it before anybody. Why? Well, the same thing with this ruling. I read the court ruling and I saw the line that showed it was a scam. I came here and I told every one of you the whole thing is a scam. It's all for theatrics. It's all political. It's not even illegal. It's all scam. Well, let's go now and read today's news, today's headlines, because you read today's headlines 7 days ago. You read tomorrow's news today. Here it is, ladies and gentlemen. The headline, Donald Trump is to stay on the Colorado ballot as the state GOP appeals. Notice what it says. The Colorado Secretary of State has said Donald Trump will be included as a candidate on the 2024 presidential primary ballot when certification occurs on January the 4th, 2024. That's Secretary of State Gina Griswold. Now, let me show you why he is staying on the ballot, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. Will the Supreme Court act? Here you go. Of course, they talk about the stay. That's what I talked about. The stay would be lifted. Notice what it says, this line. The stay would be lifted if no party filed for an appeal. Ladies and gentlemen, Donald Trump has not filed an appeal, and he's not going to until January the 4th. You just heard from the Secretary of State's mouth, the stay says as long as somebody files an appeal, then they'll be on the ballot. Ladies and gentlemen, that was a scam to mess with your minds and to give Maine the gumption that it needed to do the same thing. But the good news, it failed. It always does. Anything that ever tries to touch Donald Trump fails. Anything fails. Thank you, Cooksey Wolski. What a kind thing to say. Professor, without you, I'd be totally lost. Thank you. And you know what? It is not me. It is God, because I'm just his humble servant. But thank you for those kind words. LaRue Savoy, sweet student, thank you. You being a yielded vessel as you teach us the truth. That means so much to me. Donna Flood, thank you. Such kind words. You people are the absolute best. You knew this headline before it became a headline. I need to come up with a slogan ahead of the headlines. Hey, Jill Sydock, are you listening? Ahead of the headlines. I like that one. Okay. All right. Where current events meets critical thinking. I like that one too. Beyond the headlines. Oh, wow. I love it. So that is great news from the great state of Colorado. Now, with that said, I want to explain to you one more time why none of this will stick against Donald Trump. If you want to be educated, I'm going to take about 5 minutes here and educate you once again on the 14th Amendment. Get your notepads ready right now. I'm going to do it now. I've got a lot more to go, but do you know why I can, let me say this. You know why I can make bold statements? You know, some people on my Facebook page, they think I've got pride. And here's why. Because if you know what you're talking about, and you won't bow and you won't bend, then you've got pride. But you've got to learn the difference in pride and confidence. I will not report on anything if I've not done my homework. I won't do it. As a matter of fact, I'm running behind on the Jack Smith story. He has been illegally appointed, and he's not going to be the prosecutor before this is over with. But I'm behind the 8 ball. Everybody else reported on it, but I didn't, because there was a few things that I didn't want to come back and bite me. But now we've done our homework. So here's the deal. When it comes to the Word of God, I'm the same way. You can't just come to me and tell me you're wrong. I won't let you by with that. And on my Facebook page, they love to do drive-by shootings where they just drive by and the bullet says, you're wrong, you're wrong. And they drive off. And like, no, come back here, little dude. Come here. You better prove why. You want to go live? Well, prove why I'm wrong. You need that confidence. Every one of you needs that confidence to know what you're talking about. Not a smart aleck, just smart. Smart enough not to cow down to those that want to bully you and intimidate you by getting loud. Listen to me. If you know truth, you don't have to get loud. You don't have to do that. You can just say what needs to be said, let the bombs fall where they may, and it is what it is. So let me educate you now about the 14th Amendment. Tell all your Democrat friends, if you need to clip this part out and share it, listen carefully. Donald Trump is not guilty of violating the 14th Amendment. If you want an in-depth teaching, go back and watch my video. It's entitled Trump, I don't know what it's entitled something about the 14th Amendment. All right, so the question is, can President Donald Trump be disqualified from another presidential term because of the 14th Amendment? The answer to that question is no. Okay? Now, in Colorado, on this very question, a judge has already ruled. She said, no, the 14th Amendment cannot disqualify President Trump. She ruled that it couldn't do it because he's not an officer of the United States of America. You heard that here before you heard her ruling on it. That was why he was not disqualified. She dismissed the case against President Trump. But the state Supreme Court, with 9 Obama judges, overturned that good judge's ruling. And they said, yes, it does disqualify him. Luckily, not 9, I believe it's 7 justices. Memory fails me, but maybe 7 or 9. But anyway, be that as it may, 3 of those Obama-appointed judges dissented because they know better, right? They know this is going to give them a horrible legal headache down the road. So anyway, they said, yes, we're going to overturn it. He is disqualified. They did not do it for any legal reason. They knew it would not stand. They did it for politics. But this issue is not going away. The other states and the Supreme Court are going to have to deal with it. Section 3 of the 14th Amendment disqualifies anyone who has engaged in insurrection or rebellion against the United States. Anyone except those that are not listed in that amendment. There are 3 groups of people that are not mentioned in that amendment: the president, the vice president, and the Congress, because they are all elected positions. Now, when the Supreme Court ruled in Colorado, I'm going to read what they said. It's actually disgusting. They said, when interpreting the Constitution, we prefer a phrase's normal and ordinary usage instead of secret or technical meanings that would not have been known to ordinary citizens in the founding generation. All right. Whoo, stupidity on display. When you say that you prefer a phrase's normal usage instead of its technical meaning or some secret meaning, you just violated the meaning of jurisprudence. Jurisprudence digs down to the meaning of a word. And to say that that doesn't matter is to violate your entire profession. But the reason I take offense with what they said that people like me are looking for a secret meaning to that amendment, or a technical, God forbid, is a court of law not to find the technicalities of the law? That is the stupidest thing I've seen in a long, long time. However, they did not insult me. Who they insulted was the founding generation. All right? And our framers. Because these people that drafted the Constitution were skilled legal drafters. John Adams. I just finished watching the whole series of John Adams on, I think it's on Netflix, if I'm not mistaken. But I watched it on Q Streaming, which is ours. John Adams, the whole series. The man was so legally brilliant that he is the one that got the British soldiers off in the Boston Massacre. Why? He found a technicality in the law. Oh, yes, he did. And John Adams and Ben Franklin, the one that discovered electricity, blah, 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 little dumb people These men they're much smarter than me and you, because they lived in a day and an era when the law meant everything to them, because they're running from tyranny and establishing a new government. Guess what they're reading in their libraries? They're not following the Kardashians. They're in their libraries day and night. When I watched the John Adams movie, he had a library that would blow your mind. He lived in it, read day and night. These people were studious. They were studious of the law. All right? So to say that they were not skilled, they didn't know what they were doing, is to insult them. When they wrote this Constitution, it had no secret meaning. The 14th Amendment has no secret meaning at all. The court's comments sell short these people that drafted this Constitution. Those founders were unusually literate on legal matters. And I'm going to prove it to you right now. The phrase in the 14th Amendment, the officers of the United States of America. I want to take you back to that century when these people wrote that. It's not a secret meaning. They had just come from where? Great Britain. Much of their thinking, they were raised, it would be like if you and I went to a foreign nation right now, or foreign land, we conquered it, and we're ready to start a new government. And we've been Americans for 50 years, 60 years. Our thinking is Americana. There's a lot of, you think we're just going to become Chinese in our minds? No. These men are still British in their thinking. And knowing that, whenever they wrote the word office under or of the United States of America, they were borrowing from British language the exact same verbiage and used in Great Britain, which was the office under the crown. Put that in your notes. Put it in your quotations. Office under the crown. What does that mean? The crown is not an office under the crown. It's the head. It's very simple, guys. The president is the head of the executive branch, and he is also our head, our head of government. He is the figure and the face under which all of the government is represented. So, with that said, the phrase under the crown would be the exact same thinking that our founders put as officers under the United States of America. Now, these former British subjects, they know what they are writing. And these justices in Colorado disregarded substantial evidence that when the Constitution uses the phrase office under the United States, it is referring only to appointed offices such as Secretary of State or Secretary of Treasury. In Great Britain, the ministers of the crown are appointed by the crown. Therefore, they're the officers under the crown. The 14th Amendment only applies to officers under the United States of America, of which the president is an elected office. So are the senators and the representatives and the vice president. They're not officers. They are elected representatives of the people. And I could go on and on and on and on and prove it. I'll tell you what, let me give you 4 examples, okay? 4 examples. The Constitution says the president in Article 2, Section 3 shall commission all the officers of the United States. In other words, the president gives each officer of the United States papers that confirm and explain that officer's authority. It is granted by the head of our government. He's not an officer of our government. He is the head of it. The crown, the presidency. It is from there that people are appointed to their offices. I mean, he can't commission himself. We, the people, commissioned him, and we commissioned him to commission them. He is not an officer. Another example, Article 2, Section 4. The Constitution authorizes impeachment of the president and the vice president and all civil officers of the United States of America. If the president and the vice president were officers in the United States, there would be no reason to list them separately. Let me say it one more time. Article 2, Section 4, it's plain that you can impeach the president, the vice president, and all officers of the United States. Why list the president and the vice president? Because they are not officers of the United States. They are elected of the people. The oaths for the president and the members of Congress are totally separate oaths. They take oaths as officers. The president does not. And then Article 1, Section 9. The Constitution's Foreign Emoluments Clause prohibits officers of the United States of America to receive gifts from foreign officials. Hello? The president receives gifts from foreign officials every day. Why? He is not an officer of the United States of America. During President Washington's first term, the Senate asked Secretary of the Treasury, Alexander Hamilton, to make a list of all officers of the United States. Hamilton's list included all appointed positions. It excluded all elected ones. Did you hear what I just told you? Alexander Hamilton, the Senate wanted a list of all officers. Guess who was not on that list? You guessed it. The president, the vice president, and all of the elected representatives. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, it is time to bring you to the lowlights of 2023. It is the clown show. Yeah, you've watched it all year long.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome back. Who's happy to be here? Raise your hands. Okay.
Okay, so today, as you all saw just an hour or so ago, President Obama announced that, President Biden. Whoa!
LGBTQ2 plus. You look like a Smurf here, just going around and all this.
You want to do it now?
I'd love to do it right now.
Well, stand your butt up then.
You stand your butt up.
Oh, hold on.
Oh, stop it.
Why wouldn't one go to the happy place?
Kevin McCarthy walked by and he elbowed me in the kidneys as he walked by.
You're quite confident this was deliberate.
Oh, come on.
Did I hit somebody?
Of the chair.
Classified material next to your Corvette. What were you thinking?
My Corvette's in a locked garage. Okay, so it's not like you're sitting out in the street.
You take any classified documents with you from the White House?
I did not.
NBC News has also confirmed that classified documents were discovered at the home of former Vice President Mike Pence.
I love your hat. Thank you. One of your guys gave it to me for free.
Fox News Channel Dana Perino and Ilya Calderon, Univision.
Good evening.
Donald, I know you're watching. You can't help yourself. I know you're watching. You're ducking these things. And let me tell you what's going to happen. You keep doing that, no one up here is going to call you Donald Trump anymore. We're going to call you Donald Duck.
If former President Trump is convicted in a court of law, would you still support him as your party's choice? Please raise your hand if you would.
Really, the most amazing part of the debate to me was the idea that, the majority of my competitors believe that you can have a convicted felon as our nominee for president.
So just to be clear, Governor Christie, you were kind of late to the game there, but you raised your hand.
No, I'm doing this. Look, I'm doing this.
You didn't.
Whoa. No.
to you. If Ambassador Haley is on the rise and DeSantis is on the decline, all while the former president holds, what does that mean for you?
Yeah, I'm on the rise too, as your poll just showed.
There's been some confusion over your last name and the pronunciation, and I'm just wondering, to correct the record, what is it?
Oh, that's ridiculous, these stupid things. Listen, the way to pronounce my last name, winner.
Governor Ron DeSantis is 56 points behind Donald Trump.
This is an area I've written to you about, of the use of female dummies in crash testing. This will start to fight the gender inequity among vehicle safety.
Joe Biden's on a weather balloon killing spree. Called the Northern Illinois Bottle Cap Balloon Brigade, says they're missing their balloon. The last time the Bottle Cap Balloon Brigade saw their balloon, it was floating over Canada on February 11th, the same day Biden shot down a balloon over Canada. So Joe shot a $12 balloon with a $500,000 missile.
We'll always act to protect the interest of the American people and the security of the American people. No president added more to the debt in 4 years than my president. I misspoke. 25% of our country's entire debt.
We're seeing almost 11 jobs created under this president.
He's absolutely a magnificent leader. He is younger than I am, so I don't know what the...
Now, it's important to note, President Biden does nothing at 9 a.m.
But my focus is just stay focused. Anyway, they had to take the top of my head off a couple times, see if I had a brain.
I'm not going to engage in that hypothetical because Joe Biden is very much alive.
When has it ever? Name me a time. Name me a time. Ketanji Brown Jackson, our Supreme Court Justice.
Happy birthday, dear Alan. Happy birthday to you. Well,
0 to 62.9 seconds.
That was your clown show for 2023. That was your clown show. I hope you enjoyed it, ladies and gentlemen. That's all, folks. That's all, folks. That's your government. That's your government. Hey, do y'all know it's the end of the month? You know what that means? For those of you that love the Toto show, the Conservative College, that means you've got 2 days left to do your monthly order with the Patriots Buying Club. Do you know that that's all we ever ask you to do is help us sponsor the Patriots Buying Club at buybuywalmart.com. If you've not placed your order, when we go tonight, jump on your little laptop and place your order. Why? Because they're going to send 10% of your order to help sponsor the Conservative College. It's the least we can do, right? We don't ask you to send us a dime, but we wish you would support our Patriots Buying Club. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you're missing out. We can replace everything in your home. You don't have to go to Walmart anymore. You can buy from us. Same prices, sometimes cheaper, much better quality. All of our products, your children can drink them and it won't hurt them, including your Windex and your furniture polish, everything. Why? No chemicals at all. All right? Would you do that? Please, it's the end of the month. We need everybody to step up. And right now, I want to show you something that I think is going to build your faith, okay? Just watch this. I loved this.
You know, I was out hunting today. Come up on this old lake way back in the woods, and I saw an eagle all the way across it. You see the lake. And I said, Lord, I sure would like to get close to that eagle, because sometimes I feel like you don't always hear me. But if you hear me today, let me get close. I had a bald eagle land on my shoulder out here hunting. I don't think you can get no closer than that right there at all.
The Bible said he knows the very hair on our heads. I love that. I just loved that little video. I needed it today when I saw that. You know, sometimes the devil will never convince you that God is not real, because only a fool would think that. I mean, every design has a designer. He'll never convince you that God is not real. But he will convince you that God doesn't care, that God is not concerned about what you're going through today. But I want you to look at that eagle. He just said, Lord, I know you don't hear me a lot of times really, but I would love to get close to that eagle. And here he came and landed on his shoulders. I want to tell you that as close as that eagle is to him in that video, that's how close your Heavenly Father is to you. Could we just watch it one more time just to build some faith in this class? I love it.
You know, I was out hunting today. Come up on this old lake way back in the woods, and I saw an eagle all the way across it. You see the lake. And I said, Lord, I sure would like to get close to that eagle, because sometimes I feel like you don't always hear me. But if you hear me today, let me get close. I had a bald eagle land on my shoulder out here hunting. I don't think you can get no closer than that right there at all.
The old song says, he's as close as the mention of his name. He knows all your heartache and your pain. When it seems like you have reached the end of life's game, he's as close as the mention of his name. Aren't you glad that he is? Well, me too. I wish he would get a little bit closer to some people. I really do. I really do wish he'd get a little bit closer to some folks. Let's see if we can find the folk I'm talking about real quick. Right here she is. Lord help us all. Hang tight.
What guarantees are you going to give this liberal about how that will reduce the cost of gasoline at the pump if we let you drill where you say you want to drill?
I can guarantee to the American people, because of the inaction of the United States Congress ever increasing prices unless the demand comes down, and the $5 will look like a very low price in the years to come if we are prohibited from finding new reserves, new opportunities to increase supplies.
And guess what this liberal would be all about? This liberal will be all about socializing, would be about basically taking over and the government running all of your companies.
Bam! They don't even hide it no more. She said this liberal would be all about social, taking over all of your private businesses. Thank you, Maxine. You need an eagle, darling, to land right on the top of your wig and pull it off so that the Lord can send rays of sunshine into your scalp and hopefully deliver you from the mental disease of liberalism. And here's somebody else that I wish an eagle would land on. Maybe the eagle is landing. How many remembers Bill Barr all year long in the last 2 years has been the enemy of Donald Trump and promised us Trump cannot win? Well, look at the headlines. Barr says if Trump wins, he will need people around him who can keep him on the straight and narrow. Now, Bill Barr is saying Trump will probably win. He must have had an eagle land right on his little shoulder. Hey, real quick, I got to show y'all something. This is big news. And if you're smart, and if you have any concept of what's going on in the world at all, then you need to read this article, because this is very important about what's going on as we speak right now. Right now. Okay, look at this article. I couldn't believe it when I read it. This shows you where we are right now. This is from the Epic Times. Gold has hit an all-time record high central banks bought 800 tons of gold in 2023. While most Americans were focusing on inflation, Israel, Ukraine, and the lawsuits against President Trump, there's one issue that flew under the radar. Not on Toto's show, it didn't. The fact that both China and Russia have been stockpiling massive amounts of physical gold. Not just Russia and China, but across the entire world. It seems like most central banks are in the process of increasing their stockpiles of gold. As a matter of fact, on October the 31st, the World Gold Council bought an astonishing 800 tons of gold in the first 3 quarters of 2023. That is a 14% increase in gold compared to last year. But it's not just the nations. Ordinary citizens are stockpiling, loading up on gold. It's evidence because Costco just revealed they sold $100 million worth of gold in the last quarter alone. Y'all can keep ignoring me if you want to. That's up to you. That's your prerogative. We are the only place in the world where you can get gold and silver. I recommend silver right now with no markups and no commissions at all. You just join the club. You're a member. Now you take all your money out of your 401ks, your banks, whatever, put it in gold and silver, and you can cash it out anytime you want to. And it's a tax free because you're not taking the money out. You're rolling it over. Y'all keep ignoring me. Keep right ahead. Or go to godsmoney.info and book an appointment with us and get serious like these other people are. At Costco, they sold $100 million worth of gold to people like you. Why? Are all those people dumb? No, maybe you're the one not thinking. Come on, book an appointment with us. We want to help you. Let me show you the world we live in real quick tonight. And this is very important. I want you to listen to this commentator, and I'm going to help interpret for you what he's saying.
And I think the people who grew up in the collar counties of Philadelphia are going to decide the election. But I tell you, it's very tough because people that didn't go to college have a pretty good rage on their hands.
So the people that did not go to college are going to decide the next election. That's according to him. But hear what he has to say about us deplorables. It's going to get real interesting. He says that we are full of rage.
That's what you really want in an election is a rage. It can be black rage or white rage or rural rage.
Rural rage.
In this case, it's rural rage. They are so angry.
You know, all of us rural Mississippi people.
Angry at the
people living out on the ranch.
Liberal establishment, the coastal elite. They look at people on television, they say, oh, those people on Saturday Night Live, those snarling rich kids, I know who they are. They're all trust funders. They don't have to worry about us. And the regular guy out in the country goes, there they are snarling and making fun of us again. And every time we make fun of Trump, we're making fun of them. That's
absolutely. And that's why y'all are so dumb, you elites. You don't understand. If you would have never raided Mar-a-Lago, I can't tell you, well, I do know because God said it, but who would be in the lead right now? Y'all resurrected a dead man is what you did. It's so dumb.
It's a weird thing, but in a way it's like fighting terrorism. I mean.
What? What did you just say, Chris Matthews? Fighting us is like fighting terrorism? Watch out. Hillary made a huge mistake calling us deplorables. She lost her election. Y'all keep talking.
You know, we think we just put the army in, or Israel just puts the IDF in, they're going to solve the problem. It never solves the problem because you enrage people. And we did it with Afghanistan and we did it with Iraq. We enraged the enemy to the point where they're more fiery than ever and they hate us more than ever. Armies don't make peace. And we think they do. And that's what this fight with you. How about the younger staffers at the White House joining the protests outside the White House against the president because they're rooting for the Palestinians? Well, right?
So we are like the Palestinians. We are terrorists. And there's nothing they can do. They cannot win. He just said that we will decide the election because we're so full of rage. It's coming from somewhere, and it's coming from y'all's dumb, stupid. He said, every time we attack Trump, we're attacking them. Then quit attacking. Will you ever learn? Or do you want to stay dumb? Absolutely. If you would have never raided, I thanked God when they raided Mar-a-Lago. I thanked God when I had to go to Florida and watch my president get arrested. I thanked God today when Maine put him off the ballot. I thanked God when Colorado did it. Why? Because keep it up. Keep it up. You're doing exactly what you said you were doing. You are enraging. You are literally bringing people up that could have cared less about politics. You're doing that. We're not. You are. And it's not very smart if you ask me. I want to show you something that is very scary. Okay? It's about Jack Smith. I want you to watch this because it shows you the degradation of where we are right now in this nation and how we have to always be on the lookout, okay? So let's go read this together. Jack Smith, hang tight. Never mind. I thought I had the video up. So Jack Smith has just made a request, and he has asked the court to not allow Donald Trump to mention, and he brings out a whole litmus test of things Donald Trump should not be able to talk about at his trial. Literally, he brings it up, and I thought I had the article. I could read you the details. But January the 6th, stolen elections, Joe Biden's Department of Justice. He don't want Trump to be able to refer to the Department of Justice as Joe Biden's in the trial. He's given this whole list of how Trump can defend himself. I tell you what, that is worse than a witch trial. At least in a witch trial, you can blame it on the devil or something. But no, Donald Trump is being told how he can and cannot defend himself. That has never, ever, ever happened. But don't worry, because Jack Smith is an unconstitutional special prosecutor. Court papers have been filed with the Supreme Court to immediately remove Jack Smith from his position. It's illegal. I'll break it all down for you. In November of 2022, Merrick Garland appointed a private citizen by the name of Jack Smith to be a special counsel with the power, the same power as one of the 93 U.S. attorneys, but with nationwide jurisdiction. This makes Jack Smith more powerful than any of the 93 U.S. attorneys, even though, what is the difference in Jack Smith and all those 93 U.S. attorneys across the nation? There's one big glaring difference. First of all, he's more powerful than all of them put together. But second, every one of those 93 were all appointed and confirmed by the Senate, which is what the Constitution requires. And Jack Smith has never been Senate confirmed for that particular office that he now holds. A close examination of the Justice Department statute makes it clear that unlike 4 other heads of the cabinet departments, the head of the Justice Department, in the words of the appointment clause, have been by law vested with the power to appoint inferior officers like Jack Smith. In other words, Merrick Garland does not have the constitutional power to appoint Jack Smith into that office. He must be Senate confirmed, and now it has been revealed that Robert Mueller was illegally appointed as well. If you look at statute 28 U.S.C. section 509, 510, 515, and 533, and most importantly, section 543, here is what the statute says in 543. It allows the appointment by the Attorney General of a special counsel to assist a U.S. attorney. The only authority that Merrick Garland had was to appoint. You can appoint a special counsel, but not to prosecute. Oh, no, 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 no. Only a Senate-confirmed prosecutor can prosecute. The special counsel can assist one of those 93 confirmed prosecutors, but Jack Smith is not. Therefore, according to the court papers, what's going to happen? And guys, this is the law. Jack Smith is illegal. The entire case will have to be thrown out. A new grand jury will have to be impaneled under one of those 93 justices, attorney generals. One of those will have to impanel a grand jury again, get a fresh indictment, start by rearraigning Donald Trump all over again, bringing him to court, and by that time, he's already pardoned himself. Long story short, ladies and gentlemen, sit back and watch God move. Sit back and watch the prophetic word of the Lord never fail. The Bible said, though it tarries, it will never fail. If you're an American tonight, hold your head up. There is nothing they've ever done to our president that will work. It's never worked. It's never going to work. Why? We have truth on our side. The truth is, the elections rules were changed. The win was unfair and illegal. We know that. We know that. Therefore, we stand on that truth. We've not let it go in 3 years. And it's not because we're just theorists that, no, we know what happened. We were there. We were watching the TV. We were there. We were there. We know what happened. But we have held on to that truth. We've been ridiculed. We've been laughed at. But I've got a great feeling that when this story is over, we will get the last laugh. I hope you all have a wonderful weekend. I preach tomorrow night live at 6 o'clock Central. You can watch us live. I'll be preaching. That's our Sabbath day service. We would love to have you join us. Our Bible study Saturday morning at 10 o'clock Central. It's a private face-to-face Bible study. You can join. The link is in the description box below. Or better yet, why don't we just put one right up there? Y'all know I love playing with these little QR codes. Let's go right, bam, and get you a Bible study link. Click on it now. Join us as we dive deep into the Word of God. I thank you for watching me tonight. Thank you for making us number 5 Tuesday night. You're so appreciated. Next week, yours truly will be in Gatlinburg, Tennessee. I will be there for 4 days with all of the elders of our church. If you don't know, our church is a global church, and we have elders appointed in every region of the United States. And they will all be coming in together to spend 4 glorious days in the presence of the Lord and in the presence of one another. So the Toto show will be coming to you from there next Tuesday night. Did you think I was about to cancel my show? You know better, not unless it's a death or I'm out of breath. Everybody, good night. May God bless you and the United States of America. Good night, everybody.
If tomorrow all the things were gone I worked for all my life, and I had to start again with just my children and my wife, I'd thank my lucky stars to be living here today.
'Cause this flag still stands for freedom, and they can't take that away.
And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land.
God bless the USA.
From the lakes of Minnesota to the hills of Tennessee, across the plains of Texas, from sea to shining sea.
From Detroit down to Houston and New York to LA,
Where there's pride in every American heart, and it's time we stand and say that I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt